Hi there again, YouTube. This is the Magnus with another Total War Warhammer online ladder battle, and boy do I have a special one for you guys today. This is your friendly neighborhood Magnus up against the #1 ranked player in the world, CA Abandoned Drop Hack Rome 2, some other stuff. So anyways, let's get into the replay. I brought my standard Beastman build, 4 Gore Herd. We got 3 of the best of Gores, 2 of the Ungored Spearmen, 3 Gore Bulls, a Shaman of Beasts, and a Lord. So, right away, I don't like this map. It's incredibly unbalanced. It's the most unbalanced of all the maps. I have to go up this giant hill to get to him. And I decide I have to do that because he has a Vampire Lord who has pretty powerful magic, and so I'm going to make the push up the hill. You'll see I summon a Feral Manticore, so I have something to joust with his Vampire Lord, and if I'm lucky, scare him off or kind of marginalize him a little bit. So you'll see I'm going to send the Manticore over. Now, as you guys know, I just recently got very close to the top 100. Now I'm finding myself playing a lot of people in the top 100. But this is the first and only time so far that I've ever played the #1 ranked player in the world. Now, does that mean he's the best player in the world? No. Am I the best player in the world? Absolutely not. But it does mean he's very good, and you're going to see that from the replay here. So he's going to try to use the magic missiles on my Manticore, and I make a nice dodge there and continue to push up the hill. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward it because it's a little bit of a long battle. Now you'll see he has over here, he's got 5 Grave Guard, 2 White Kings, he's got 1 Banshee, the Vampire Lord on his dragon, and hidden from me he has 3 Vargulfs. So an interesting composition, one I haven't seen before from the Vampire, so I wasn't sure what he was gunning here for. You're going to see I use a Flock of Doom, Overcast, and he one-shots my Lord. I really love the OP magic missile spell. So my guys have the Lord penalty, and they're headed up the hill, but they're still fresh, they're still eager, and I'm still, relatively confident I've got a good shot at this. So I move up the hill, and the attacks begin. I see he's going to use the Vargulfs to target my Gore Bulls. I'm going to use the Gore Bulls to try to beat on some of his leaders when I get a chance. And the infantry on infantry engagement, I like the odds. The Grave Guard are tanky. They don't have the great weapons, so they're not going to do insane damage or anything like that. So I feel pretty good about that. I put my Manticore on his Vampire Lord to give him something to think about. And not a bad fight so far, but he has Invocation in the Heck, and my Feral Manticore has, well, he's dead sexy. Does that count? I don't think that helps. Okay, so we're fighting all along the front line. Looks like some of my infantry's breaking. No surprise there. Some of his is wavering, crumbling, I should say, because they are the vampires. And we're just kind of slugging it out. This is not not a highly technical build from either of us, just a lot of DPS and a lot of nasty hero units. So just fighting it out, trying to get that damage in there, and what I'm really trying to focus on is getting rid of his infantry. But then I see him land his Vampire Lord here, and that gets me thinking that the best way to deal with the vampires is to cut off their head. So I start pressing up on him with my heroes and my Lord. Well, not my Lord, my heroes. My Lord died before the engagement even began. One of my Gore Bulls is going to run away. It's unfortunate, but he recovers pretty quickly, and he's going to be coming back in the fight. I'm not having much luck against the Vargulfs, and I noticed that. I'm having trouble dealing damage to them, and when I do, they have the recover ability. So again, he's going to land his Vampire Lord. I'm going to head straight for him, and boom, dead. So I've got his Lord dead, so kind of a ticking clock for the vampires now. And again, I'm going to put down the Flock of Doom, do some more damage. He has a nice big cluster here, so great opportunity for the Flock of Doom. Looks like Oh, I thought he cast his invocation in the heck, but I guess he didn't. So he's running out of guys pretty quick. Both of these are fading quickly, and over here I definitely have the numbers, but he's got a lot of hero units with potions and a lot of Vargolfs with regeneration, so not sure what's going to happen. He pulls his Vargolfs back, so I decide I'm going to take care of these White Kings, try to cut down on their leadership more. His infantry is virtually non-existent at this point. Mine is constantly retreating, and then I'm constantly bringing them back into the fight, trying to get an advantage here. He brings the Vargolfs back, puts them onto my Gore Bulls, and we've got a big pit going here. Lots of fighting. It looks like another Flock of Doom comes down. Not really effective against individual units, but I figured, hey, if it's gonna at least counteract the regen on these Vargolfs, well, that's good. And plus, you know, the Banshee obviously is very resistant to physical damage, so I figured the magic would do me well. So more of my units start to break a little bit, but I still feel very confident here. His infantry is on its last legs, 9, and I'm surprised there's 30 guys with that low health. But so he puts 3 of his guys on one of my Gore Bulls, and I decide, well, you know, if over here I've got to live that out, and I believe I had 1 or 2 potions when this started still remaining on that guy, I figured, well, you know, that gives me more of a chance to push up and get everything in on these White Kings and try to get them out of the fight. You're going to notice here early on, or right about now probably, that the knockback on the Vargolfs is unbelievable. And they're very good at knocking back my Gore Bulls, which greatly reduces their effectiveness because, well, they can't do damage when they're laying on the snow. So he's doing some great cycle charging here, charging against the one Gore Bull, going back and charging against the others, charging my infantry. Another Gore Bull goes flying, more infantry goes flying. And then I start to realize, as I'm just about to take out these White Kings, that these Vargolfs are not just uncommon, but he's brought them for a very specific reason, and that is, I don't know whether it's intended or not, but they are professionals when it comes to knocking down Gore Bulls, which is, of course, something you want when you're fighting against the Beastmen. So you'll see my Gore Bulls again and again getting splattered on the ground. He's down to 1 White King, 1 Banshee, 3 Vargolfs, but not only have they been knocking down my Gore Bulls left and right, they've also been smashing my infantry simultaneously. So my advantage is disappearing quickly. Again, I decided to go for this White King. I'm thinking maybe the loss of another hero. If I can get rid of all the heroes, maybe the Vargolfs will break. You know, I got rid of his leader very early on. I got rid of now 2 heroes, and they're still not breaking. So I start focusing on trying to get everybody in on the Banshee, but as you can see, my Gore Bulls just simply can't stay on their feet. He's doing a crazy job at knocking these guys down. There goes both of them. And not only do they knock them down, they knock them away a great distance, which, you know, in the meantime, he's healing, right, because he has regeneration, and my guys are doing nothing. So I quickly realize this is pretty much a lost cause. I fight it out, but obvious to see here, there's not going to be any victory. The Magnus is not going to beat the #1 guy in the world. But I think I gave him a hell of a fight, and I definitely learned something from playing such a good opponent, and that is the hard counter to the Gore Bull is definitely the Vargolf, which is not a unit you see used in PvP very often. And now I realize why the #1 player, CA, Abandon, whatever, would bring 3 Vargolfs, something I haven't seen before, and it's because they are that hard counter. So if you're looking for something that's going to counter Gore Bulls, look at this: 8 kills, 8 kills, 3 kills. That is the worst my Gore Bulls have ever done. My leader got spiked in 1 shot. My best of Gores were able to hang for quite some time, but even they fled on me. his Grave Guard were very serviceable. His Vargolfs were fantastic, and all of his potted heroes did a lot of good for him. So anyways, good game to my opponent. Not sure about the name, but definitely a good game. If you enjoyed this battle, if you learned anything, please like, please subscribe. Until the next time, this is the Magnus. Have a great day.